In our books on page 597 are our directions then. It says that we're going to use the current year, journalize the following transactions, use page 3 of the general journal, and page 5 of cash receipts journal. Our source documents are abbreviated as follows. We're going to have a check, a receipt, and memorandum. And then we have our 2 transactions. So we're going to go ahead and journalize those first. It says on March 3rd, we signed a 90-day 6% note for $6,000 with First National Bank in 279. Okay, so how are we going to record that? Should we start out with what journal?
Cash receipt.
Good. We're going to go into our cash receipts because we are receiving that cash. Okay, so our date is March 3rd, 2013. How much cash are we receiving? $6,000. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my cash debit right away. $6,000. Okay, what is going to be my credit then? Notes payable. Am I done?
Document number and the date in there.
The date's on there. Document number?
R279.
Okay, my second transaction. On March 18th, we signed a 60-day 9% note with Dry Creek Company for an extension of time on this account payable of $2,000. That's Memorandum 288. Okay, so what that's saying here is that Dry Creek Company owes us $2,000 on their accounts payable. Okay, but they're saying we can't pay that right now, so they're asking for an extension. And the way that we're going to give them an extension is we're going to have them sign a notes payable. So how are we going to do that then? How are we going to record that? What journal? General journal, because there's no cash that's being handed through right now. So we're going to go to the general journal and March 18th. Okay, what is our first thing that we're going to do? What are we going to debit? And that is Memorandum 288. What shouldn't I forget to do in my post-reference? Good. And how much am I going to debit that for? $2,000. So what I'm saying here is I am clearing out that account. And I'm saying they don't owe us that accounts payable anymore. Because what they're going to owe us now is notes payable. Okay, so it's getting rid of what they owe us in the accounts payable and it's moving to a notes payable. So this is so we don't have to write that account off. We know that they're going to pay us. It just means that they owe, or they're going to take a little longer to pay us. Okay, then it tells us that journalize the following transactions on page 9 of the cash payments journal. We're going to use the maturity dates and maturity values calculated in our work together 21. So you do need this one sheet because we're going to be looking at our maturity dates and our maturity values. Okay. Our first one, it says that we paid cash for the maturity value of the $2,000 note. Check number 255. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to look. Which one is my 2000? My March 18th. Okay. Now on March 18th, I can see that my interest for that note is $30. My maturity date is May 17th, and my maturity value is $2,030. Okay, so what am I going to use for my date here? Good, May 17th, because that is my maturity date. Now, I think the easiest thing for me to do is to put in my cash. How much total cash am I? Good, $2,030. Okay, because I'm paying the principal plus the interest that we accrued. Yes. Okay, what am I going to debit then? I'm going to debit my notes payable. How much am I going to debit my notes payable for? $2,000, because that was the principal of the note. Okay, do my debits equal credits right now? No. So what else am I going to debit? Good, my interest expense for that interest that I accrued during my notes payable. And that was check number 255. Okay, then I paid cash for the maturity value of the $6,000 note, C263. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my work together 1. I see March 3rd, I signed a $6,000 note at 6% interest for 90 days. My interest then that I accrued is $90. My maturity date is June 1st, and my maturity value is $6,090. And so what am I going to use for my date here? June 1st. How much cash did I pay? $6,090. What am I going to debit? My notes for the $6,000 principal. Then I'm also going to debit my interest expense for $90. And that was check 263. Any questions on the work together? Bless you. Yep. Okay, you can go ahead and do 22 on your own.